Hood postman, city, hood, click. Let's go.
Be very careful who you talk to, because you'll never know who the informant is, who the cooperating witness may be, and you never know somebody who was a friend today may have been flipped the night before and become your enemy tomorrow.
About humanity, putting truth in these lines, while they busy feeding lies. When you got that tunnel vision, gotta open up your eyes. Wake up and go to sleep. Man, I'm praying all times. And to my guys, ain't no other side. This for my brothers, I'ma pray we all shine. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Lock the door. Go ahead, lock the door. Yeah, you already know.
Depending on the lessons, some people eat, some people learn. But the game is gonna send you a big. Lock the door.
Lock the door. The game is going to send you a bill. Shout out to the Mailroom Nation and the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Melly Mel, the Hood Postman. Be sure to click that notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below. You got too much feedback in the background, bro. Drop a comment below so when the GOAT content hit, it'll feel like it's the first and the 15th. Welcome to the mailroom. When you come in, take a look at your mind, examine what's in your heart. Before they had handguns, they had handguards. Man up. This is not a glorification or grammarization. It's always an education. Get on the bus, bump, bump, and let me take you to school. We're here, man. Shout out to my guest. I got a special guest in the house, Mr. TJ Loftin. How you doing, sir?
I'm great, good brother. How you doing yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Let me give the wisdom, man, because this is Wisdom Wednesday, man. Social media nowadays, people don't defend what is right. They defend who they like and what's trending. That's just the way of the social media. We don't have to be overindulgent in social media because we all know that social media becomes it's virtual, more virtual than it is reality. So just be aware of how much time and how much you donate to social media and how credible the sources of your social media are. Hold the people accountable that you follow and that you like or subscribe to or whatever. But you can't just let them get away with saying anything and you don't fact check. I recommend blackdemographics.com. And also the book for the day is Naeem Akbar, Community of Self. That is very important to understand the community of self. So coming back to my special guest, what's going on with you, TJ?
Oh, not much, good brother. Just doing what we do, man. Trying to help the young people.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I want to get right into it, man, because you've been coming up with some interesting topics. But the one topic that you did talk about, the economic futuristics, I believe that was a futuristic economics.
Yeah, they call me the economic futurist. Right.
Economic futurist. Let's
Right.
get into that. Let's explain that so the people that's watching can better understand exactly what you mean by that.
What I mean by that is people kind of trip off of me of how I talk about stuff today, and then 5 years later it start happening and take over. Like, for example, 10 years ago, I was talking about gentrification coming, houses about to get crazy, people ain't gonna be able to afford it. And people were like, what is gentrification? How do you spell that? You know what I'm saying? Nobody really knew what it was back in the day. So now people live in it every day and everybody's using it. They understand it now. So that's called the futurist right there. So I understood that how the dynamics of real estate and the prices going up and the cost of living,
So before we go a little further, let's give a little more background. So you grew up in Compton,
Right.
Campanella Park. What was that? What was like growing up? What was like it growing up for you?
You know, it was kind of interesting for me because I had the leader of the Pyrus on my left, Putin, then I had the Kingpin Crip on my right. So I was kind of in the middle of two different cats who was both having their money. You know what I'm saying?
Uh huh.
So I didn't see. I wasn't. It wasn't all. Let's go hang on the brick wall and let's go do some drive-bys. I didn't grow up in that neighborhood, that community. I grew up with cats who was like ride with me. You know what I'm saying? Grab that bag of money. Let's go over here. I'm about to go loan these guys some money, and you know what I mean. So that was what it was like growing up for me. But then
Absolutely.
huh?
I say absolutely.
Yeah. So it was a little different. You know, I didn't hang with the knuckleheads. I hang with the cats who was really about their paper, you know, working on low riders and got low riders and money, you know. So I just thought that was interesting coming up.
So what impact did Putin? Because Putin had an impact on a lot of people on that west side, man. Did he have it? What was his impact on you, if he had any?
Money, business, you know. Putting theory in life was shoot first and ask questions later, you know.
That was his that you right
Yeah.
about that.
And the brother on my right was give it to them. If they try to jack you, give it to them, and then call me and we'll get it back that night. You know what I'm saying? But
Uh-huh.
Putin's effect on me was I got to watch how the money was being moved around and take this and y'all go out of town and oh, this house is making that much money and that house make this much money. So I was the economic person. He was like, man, count this. And how much is that, TJ? And you know, so I just got to watch. We about to cut the top off this blazer, and I'm about to send this blazer to the paint shop and they gonna paint it, you know. So here I am in the ninth grade. I mean, in the junior high school, and I'm looking at all this stuff. The car stuff fascinated me. So I got to watch him buy El Camino, and then all of a sudden, the El Camino came back brand new off the lot. Then next week, it's fixed up with wheels on it. You know, the Mustang came stock, then it got wheels on it. The rag Porsche was stock, then it got wheels on it, and the Blazer. Well, oh, we're gonna cut the top off of this and make it a full convertible and raise it up and put big wheels on it. I'm just sitting there like fascinated, like, wow, who did that? So he like, okay, well, you gonna ride with me, you know. So that's when I got to meet the homie Terry Carter. You know, I
Okay.
moved to Terry shop
Rest
and
in
they
peace, Terry Carter.
yeah, OG Terry Carter. That was my guy. So them the cats. So Terry ended up pulling me under his wing and like, you a car guy, okay. So now we got Gary May and Terry Carter, and I'm sitting there with them learning the game. You know what I'm saying? My brother Cap too. You know, they was all into the lowriders and building, and I'm just watching, and I'm like, dang, I ain't gotta sell no drug. I could just sell the cars to these guys, fix their cars up, because they taking bags of money down to the car people. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I want to do what these cats is doing. They making
So
some money.
over the years, TJ, how many cars could you say you build?
It's hard to say, man. I probably that's a good question, homie. But I rolled into the frames in the end. I could say I probably, man, I came in the game and I started building cars in say 93, 94. And I came out in 2009. And I was one of the biggest builders that was turning them over because I had two lowrider shops. You feel me?
Uh-huh.
So, man, that's a good question, homie. I could at least say a little over 100 in all those years of building cars, you know, but I wouldn't build no Regals and Cutlasses, you feel me? But
So
I probably built about 1,000 frames, you know. I
so
started
would you
rapping.
say your biggest staple was Chevys per se, old Chevys, old
Yeah.
schools?
I like to build Chevys. And that was actually controversial because I started off building the Cadillacs and the Cutlasses and all that. But then I realized it costs these guys, I can't charge these guys no more than 10, 15,000. But the guy with the 57 rag or the 64 rag, you know what I'm saying? I could charge him 30,000, 40,000, you know? So I'd rather work on his car. Plus the guy with the Cutlass, that was his only car. You know what I'm saying? But the guy with the 61 rag, he got like 13 cars. So he like, here go all the money, take your time, let me know if you need some more money. So I said, you know what? I like the convertible Chevy guy. I'm just 56 through 64. That's all I'm working on, you know? And that was where the money was at.
Did Putin ever low ride?
Not that I know of.
So Putin just meant
I knew him since the 9th grade. I never seen him driving lowrider though.
okay.
Yeah, I know when I met Putin, he had a bug, and I think it was called Sweet and Sticky or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that
Was,
cat like he had.
yeah. Which one?
The green one.
Lowrider or stock?
No, it was stock. It was stock.
Oh, okay.
No, I
Yeah,
wasn't low rider. It wasn't no low rider. You know, Putin was in. He had to be in something that could get on. Whether it was the Riviera, the Cadillac, or whatever, it had to be able to get out the way.
yeah. When I got with Putin, man, it was. You got to remember, and I'm in junior high school, like right there in that 82, 83 era, and that's when Putin started really messing with the money side of things and kind of left that other stuff alone. And he realized, oh, now we making some money, and everybody attracted to him, so he was making money, putting everybody on, you know. So I was right there to witness all of that. I was like, man, there's really money out here, you know. He ain't got the bug no more. Oh, we got a brand new truck over here. Like, wow. I watched him go from the bug to a, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, what happened to the bug? You know, the bug gone, you know. Got a mini blazer, brand new off the lot.
Out of there, huh?
Yeah, Sweet Sticky was gone. It's stuck somewhere else, you know.
I saw you mention another one of my loved ones, Elbow, which is Kevin.
Yeah, Kev. That's
And Ted Wells. I think Ted, rest in peace as well. He built quite a few cars himself, right?
That was them two was my coaches, man. I called them up and asked them anything. Hey, you got this, you got that. I need this. Okay, I'll trade you. You know, how you do this? How you do that, man? I got this brand new car over here. I'll take the front end off of a 59. You know, all that. Ted, and I stayed on the phone with them cats. Yeah, I just talked to Elbow not too long ago.
Yeah, he's still over there building, welding floor pans and quarter panels, and he can basically put a piece of car together. All you gotta do is have all the pieces. He'll put it together.
Yeah, he became that metal guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I liked about Kev.
Yeah,
he saw something different and he went left with it. He just wanted to do metal work. You know.
Right. It's a lot of money because, you know, I mean, you gotta. I think, what is that? Is that MIG welding or is that gas acetylene? What is that? MIG and TIG?
Yeah. Gas.
Okay,
that's
gas.
All gas work. Yeah, that's gas work, man. It's like that was a nice little pivot because when we first started buying Chevys, man, when I came in, homie, in like in the early 90s, I would literally go out of town and I was like, I went to Palmdale, man. I would find cars for like $800 and go get a battery and put air in the tires and drive them home, and they'd be clean, you know. Now them same cars, 100,000, you know, 59 Ram, $100,000. So things different. So over the years, things started getting worse, and as the prices went up, we started looking back and say, "Hey, man, give me that rust bucket over there. Give me that rusty one with all the missing front end and the windows busted out. I ain't got no floors." So now all of a sudden, the whole thing changed over to now people they got to weld now. So they really got to learn how to weld these floors in, cut the floors out, cut the trunk out, you know. So I like when Kev, he just said, I'm not going to be the hot guy no more. I'm going to go this way and start doing the rust. I liked it. That was pretty slick. Just like I said, I don't want to build the full cars no more. I could build more frames and make more money real quick. You feel me? So I can say if I could, like I had one of my big shops in Palmdale, I could put probably like 25 cars in that shop. But I could put like 75 frames in that shop. You feel me?
Oh, yeah.
So the cars would take a minimum of 6 months, but the frame would take a minimum of 6 days, 5 days. And they was just like,
a lot of people don't know the frames be just as valuable as the body, because if you ain't got no frame, you ain't got nothing.
Right.
I think let me see, is it from 59 to 64, the frame are the same?
Yeah.
They're
not the same. No, 59 and 60 frame is the same. The 61 through 64 frame is the same.
Okay, got it.
55 through 57 is the same.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I came in, homie, I watched it to where, like Eazy-E said, throw it in the gutter and go buy another, to now we can't do that no more because they cost too much. So now the homies start figuring out how to wrap a frame. And when that happened, homie, it was like a lot of people. Like I think I was watching one of the homies be interviewed on your show, And they said, yeah, it got slow. It got slow at that time. Times changed. Things got real slow. Low riding was kind of like at a dead end. No, it wasn't. It wasn't low. The money never slowed down. The money just kept going, but money changed hands. If that makes sense, you feel me? So what it was is when people start wanting their frames wrapped, people that only a certain amount of people knew how to do that. You feel me? And I was one of those kind of people. So I turned around and changed the whole game. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna start just building frames, and I'll go sell them a full rolling chassis with the chrome suspension, full boxed in with this brand new thing called a powder coat on there. So I was the first one really doing candy powder coat, candy blue, candy burgundy, candy green, because I had a powder coat that was doing that. And people all around the world were like, whoa, what the hell? How you do that? Because back then, people had a black frame with a partial wrap. I'm like, nah, homie, we doing full wraps now, you know? So now, cats who wanted to build car, a lot of cats would send their whole car to Compton to have it built. But when they found out, oh, I could just buy a frame from TJ, it's like, oh, I ain't sending my car to Compton. I'm gonna just get a frame from him, and I'll let my painters paint and do my interior out here. Because they didn't know how to wrap the frames, they didn't know how to do any of that work. So
how important it is to have a fully wrapped frame versus a half wrapped frame?
Well, they call it a partial wrap. The partial wrap is just they put metal on. They tore the engine out and they wrap the belly, put a piece of metal on the belly, and then they take the wheels off of the front and they put a piece of metal across the frame, trying to keep it from bending down. But if you put 4 pumps in it, it's gonna break. It's gonna break the frame. So now when you take the whole car off the body and just wrap the whole frame, you boxing the whole frame in so it really can't buckle. You see what I'm saying? From front to back, the whole frame is just boxed in, completely solid and tight. You know, ain't no room for no flexing opportunity because the frame, when you get a partial wrap, the frame would crack at the end of the weld at the partial wrap. You know?
Oh wow! Do you know Roy C?
Yeah,
Roy C be messing with them frames too.
Yeah.
I
Everybody,
don't know if he's still doing it. But yeah.
Yeah, you know. I'm working on a documentary, and I had got Ted before he passed away. Man, I was so happy I was able to catch him. You know what I mean?
Wow. What about Doc? Did you ever work with Doc?
Oh yeah, Doc was crazy, man. I wanted Doc to go teach classes at Morehouse. You know what I'm saying?
Doc was a brilliant. He was a genius, man.
Doc was not playing, man. That dude was serious, you know. And I'm talking about a lot of them kind of cats in the documentary, man, because we got all these brilliant, amazing car builders that did some amazing stuff. Matter of fact, me and Doc, I think I sent you a picture. It was so many, like Terry Carter, Doc, Ted Wills, and myself and Kev. We all made it to Japanese Lowrider magazine over the years. You feel me? Like the top car builders. So that was pretty cool. Doc he was one of those guys, and I was happy to see that, man, because he deserved it, man. He pioneered a lot of that stuff.
Just recently, my homeboy Gangster, he built a car 63, and Gangster's known for building some beautiful cars. He built the Santana, he built the Banana, he had the G thing, he had the Gangster Paradise. Now he got Irresistible B, right? It's a 63 candy frame wrap, fully wrapped, really a lot of detail to it, engravings and everything, just really nice. And Mr. Goddammit pulled up on him. He's a guy that go around, do blogs on people's cars, and he always throw price tags. So he said, this is the Irresistible B Gangsters 63 Chevy, and it's worth $5 million. And the internet went crazy, man. The internet went crazy, but here's the thing. If you understand market, you understand that market. If you understand the price of things, you understand that market. Buyers and sellers determine market, not opinions, not people hating or disapproving. It's buyers and sellers that determine market, nothing less, nothing more. So even if you believe that whether this car worth $5 million or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is that what he's willing to let it go for, and what the one that's purchased is willing to pay for it. But right. you as an individual can't say, oh, you can just say hypothetically, oh man, that car ain't worth $5 million. But If the man ain't willing to sell it for less than $5 million, then who are you?
You know, when I first seen that dude, I liked what he was doing, you know what I'm saying? But when he started throwing them big ass numbers out there like that, I didn't like that, because as a public speaker, they pulled me out of lowriding, and now I travel around the world teaching people about lowriders and stuff like that. And I'm trying to tell them that the paint man makes, 6 or 7 figures a year painting cars, because the cars can go up to 300,000-400,000. So they looking at me sideways already because they don't believe me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey man, my boy just sold a 59 rag for 400,000. They ain't really believing that. So now I got everybody's attention and they looking, and now you got this guy on there, oh, it's worth $5 million, and now they looking at it. And now I gotta say, that's not true, homie. That ain't true.
Yeah, well, Dexter came on and said it wasn't true, but the point is, my point is always that what determines market is buyers and sellers, not naysayers, not sidewalk critics, not jealous and envy or haters. It doesn't determine that. So it's buyers and sellers. But at the same time, we understand that this market has grown tremendously. Because back during my time, you can go buy a Chevy $200 or $300. But that same Chevy now costs you $100,000, $200,000 or $300,000. Easily.
But one thing about Gangster though, for real, like Gangster's a rock star at lowriding. You know what I'm saying? He's the president, the leader of one of the biggest lowrider club in Black America. You know what I'm saying? He's been around. So Gangster he probably could get, if somebody came down there today and said, I'm not willing to sell this, said I want to buy it, and Gangster said it's not for sale. And the guy, like, we deal with kings, princes, doctors, football players. So if you know, like I know, because the Gangster is a legend, you know what I'm saying? Just like myself, cars I got, we get more money for cars because we the guys that set this thing on fire. So Gangster could say, hey, give me $5 million, and they would buy it because they know who Gangster is. He's a legend. He's like the Michael Jordan of lowriding. You feel me?
Right.
So they want to have
not only would they get the car, but they'll get his story with the car.
Yeah. You got the right now to speak on his behalf. Just like back in the days, I had a Rag 64 over there, and I was trying to get like 75,000 for it, and it wasn't moving. It was like, because they didn't like the color. So the homies came through there with this rapper dude. I ain't gonna say his name, but he leaned on the car. Then he had to take a phone call, so he ended up sitting in the car, and somebody randomly took a picture of sitting in that car. Well, then all of a sudden I put it on the wall, like, yeah, it's for sale. So I put, next thing you know, the jabs came through. Oh, that's such and such. That's such and such. He says he's selling that. I'm like, nah, he don't sell that. Nah, he never sell that, man. Oh, I buy, but I want that picture. I want picture 2 with rapper. I was like, hold on, let me call him. Hey man, Jeff's up, I'm lying like a buck. And they paid me, man. I walked away with some real bread for that car, double what I was trying to sell it for,
Right.
Who was
based on that one rapper sitting in your car.
Yeah, but now if they can say, like, I got people call me all the time and say, I want that lowrider that was in Boys in the Hood. I don't want a car that look like it. I want that car. Oh, well, shoot, you going, man, that dude never sell that car. No, we're going to put it in the museum out here, so I'm willing to pay whatever you want because I want to put that in the museum. They do stuff like that, So the cars is like paintings. Whatever I'm willing to pay for it, that's what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have a painting today that just sold for $500, but when I come and I'm the king of lowriding and I'm willing to pay $5 million for it, now that painting is known, it just sold for $5 million. So the next person going to have to pay 5.5. You feel me? For that particular painting, and that works with these lowriders.
So TJ, what is it with these painters now, man? Because I remember you used to be getting a car painted for $2,000 or $3,000. Now they up to about 30, 40, 50. What's going on with that?
Well, when we got into that rust, when we got everything need floors and quarter panels, it's only a handful of cats that know how to properly hang on a quarter panel. From the back of the driver door to the back bumper. Hey, homie, I can walk in there and look at that car and be like, nah, I ain't giving you no 150 for this. The quarter panel not straight. Everybody else, man, this car is tight. Look at the car. This car is bad. Man, it got up. Homie, that quarter panel ain't straight. Next thing you know, here come another cat that know about car. He's like, yeah, that quarter panel is off on the left. I'll be like, told you. But everybody don't know how to weld in floors properly.
And that's why people go to Elbow, because Elbow is probably one of the best at doing that.
Yeah, Elbow's seasoned. When you got a brother that been doing something for 25 years, you see what I'm saying? He's gonna get his money. So now he over there with a waiting list. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I start using the name Master Car Builder. Elbow's a master car builder. You see what I'm saying? I'm a master car builder, you know? So it's like so we get more money because people know. Like I came out the industry to travel around and speak to the kids about the industry, you know? So now all I gotta do is say, hey y'all, I'm coming back. I got a shop over here. I'm gonna have some of the top guys dropping off 57 rags, 56 rags, 59 rags, because they know I know how to build those kind of cars.
So JT, TJ, hypothetical. If Putin had came to you and say, man, I want you to build me a car, but I want you to pick it. Here go the money. What would you have building?
Well, Putin, he's a 57 rag kind of guy. He would. I couldn't put him in nothing less than a 57 rag because of the brand. You know what I'm saying? We see Putin hit the corner, we like everybody go, oh, that's OG Putin right there. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know who he is, so he can't pull up with nothing less than a 57 or a 59 rag or something, you know, because they wouldn't accept nothing less from him, you know. But that's what I would build for Putin, you know. He probably gonna say
what's your thoughts on these aftermarket 57s and 58, 59s? I think Japan started that stuff fabricating.
No, that's the white guys. They turned around and made a replica 50. Like you can go get you a 2025 1957 Chevy.
I seen the one today is electric. It's like a Tesla, but it's a 57.
No, he made that. That dude did. He built that. But
yeah, I know. That's my point.
Yeah. They'll sell you a shell. You can buy a shell 57 rag, and you can buy a brand new frame for it, and you go build the rest to buy all the pieces and put it together. But they put that electric stuff on there. So yeah, they just doing it like that red. They're talking about that red 57, right?
Yes.
I don't care for that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't like all that electric.
What's the value of those? Even though because it's fabricated, what's the value on a fabricated 57?
Oh, they still gonna get their money. You 300,000-400,000.
Damn.
300,000-400,000. You know, because it's like, man, you know, I wouldn't just buy a car, homie. If you came to me and say, hey, TJ, this has been sitting in the garage for 60 years, why I wouldn't really want it? Because I want, you know. Like if somebody with that other one, he'd be like, TJ, I bought the car. Here go on down to the meadow, brand new floors, brand new car, yeah, I'll pay money for that. But I'm not trying to pay no money for something that I don't know what's under it. You feel me? Like I had a ball player came to me, man. He bought a 59 Chevy and he talked the guy down to 75 racks, right? So I turned around and I'm looking at the car like, homie, he bought it to me to put an engine in it. And I'm like, homie, we got to redo this whole car. He like, man, the car was clean too. I said, this car got Bondo, homie. I can just look at it and tell. And he bragging, talking about all the people who looking at it and all the homie who had all this money. I said, well, y'all niggas getting fucked over at from the top. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I took that car to the sandblaster and the Bondo was this thick. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I got a picture with the tape measure sitting there. It was over 1 inch thick. And I said, the dude who fixed this car, he was a master bull crapper. You know what I'm saying? And he was good at what he did. Because when I tell you the car was clean, but I can look at it because I've been dealing with it for so many years. I know.
Yeah, that's a strict rule when you building a old Chevy, old school. Do not put Bondo on my car.
Right.
You don't put Bondo on a Chevy. You just don't. It doesn't work, bro.
Right. You know, so what I like about it, man, is I was kind of like the brother who took low riding to the next level. You know what I'm saying? I take the credit for taking low riding and blowing it up through the roof, because what happened was I was on Crenshaw when I was having problems. I used to run ads in all the Lowrider magazine, Straight magazine, Street Custom magazine. I was the only black person in all those books for like from 1994 all the way to 2009. You know what I'm saying? Every month they came back, homie. My phone number was wrong. My address was wrong. It was always something wrong with my ad. You feel me? So they didn't want me in there. But what ended up happening was one day the homie came to me with a dude by the name, rest in peace, named Young Hog, right?
I remember Young Hog.
So Young Hog is on Crenshaw, right?
Right. He crowned Gangster King of the Shaw with a big old trophy, about 6 foot, 7 foot tall trophy.
Right. Right. So what he did was he was the first person to start videotaping everybody.
Yes.
Bloods, Crips, Hispanics, and he would go out on Crenshaw and then he packaged them up and came back the next week and sell them. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen that, homie, it was over with. I was like, hey, homie, I want to work a deal out with you. I want to sell your videos. Fast forward the story, he cut me like $10 and they was retailing for $25. I took him straight back. I put that name in my ad. I said, Young Hog Lowrider Videos, exclusive distribution at Express Gold Plating, which I was in all the Lowrider magazines. So now I'm shipping them videos global. So now I got cats calling me from Japan and Germany and Australia, like, what's up with Gangster? What's up with Big Punchy? You know, I'm like looking at the phone like, you in Australia, what you know about a Big Punchy? Man, I was watching the video you sent me. I'm like, oh, man, them guys, everybody in low riding got famous and it just blew up through the roof, dude. Now you got guys calling back to Compton saying, I want to be a Majestic in Japan. I want to bring the Majestic to Germany. I want to bring the individuals to Australia. Dude, everything changed. Everything changed. The Young Hog video changed everything. Now I'm like, I don't even worry about the magazines no more. I like these videos, you know?
Right.
But yeah, that's when I started watching the cars, homie. Like I wasn't even worried about
Cali Swinging. Then Cali Swinging joined in. That took it up another notch.
Cali Swinging he came in under Young Hog. He came in there together with him one day, and he was like an assistant helping him out. And then all of a sudden, see, Hog being Hog, that was my boy, but he just didn't have that real business mind. You feel me? So all of a sudden, Cali Swinging went right, and then I started supporting Cali Swinging too. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to not have to deal with Lowrider Magazine. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted Cali Swinging to come up, Hog to come all the way up. Everybody, I wanted all these blacks to come up so that we all could keep making money because the Hispanics was trying to lock us out back in those days, and they still are to this day, you know?
Yeah, I remember we was Gangster went to a show in Arizona. Clearly he had the best car. I mean, I'm talking about there was nothing in that show that could touch his car. And Lowrider Magazine, they gave a trophy to somebody else. You know what I mean? Gangster went.
No normal. Hey, that's like I call Lowrider. Like me and Lowrider never got along, man. I called Lowrider back in the days, and I had the first Lincoln Town car, all gold bumper. The first one was the baddest one. It had gold on the bumpers, gold everything.
What year did you have that Lincoln Town car?
That was in like '93. It wasn't mine. It was my homeboy from Raymond. Matter of fact, Raymond Crip. He was a shot caller named Bone. I don't know if you know Benny Bone.
Okay.
He was with one of my club brothers. Matter of fact, later on they ended up joining the motorcycle club. You know, damn, I lost my thought. Got to get my shirt over here. He was one of the black Magic Wheels.
Okay.
So he was one of Magic Wheels. But anyway, I built that Lincoln. Shout out to Magic Wheels, matter of fact, and rest in peace, Benny Bone. But anyway, I bought that Lowrider, I bought that Lincoln, the Lowrider magazine, man. They was like, ooh, brand new Lincoln, 700 miles on it. You know what I'm saying? Front, back, gold ones, everything. Everything you wanted to do, it was already there. Pumps in there, just nice setup, and it was swinging. They were like, we can't do nothing with this. This is not really low riding, right? 6 months later, Hispanic dude put one together. Boom, front page, centerfold. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, they would always do me like that. I was like, you know what? I'm not even messing with them because they know A lot of cats is in there. They just want to get in the magazine so that they can be like, "Hey, I won. I got the nicest car." But I'm in there saying blacks exist because they were trying to tell people about. I used to own Express Gold Plate and Compton Wire Wheel and Motor Suspension, and a lot of cats didn't realize that it's black-owned lowrider shops out here. But the Hispanics were trying to say it wasn't. You feel me? They said all the Hispanics build all the cars. Ain't no black guys building cars. So the homies would go on Crenshaw and hop every Sunday. And it'd be all of us out there, but the homie Gary May told me, he said, TJ, I need you to go out of town and start going to the car shows. I said, which one? He said, all of them. I said, why? He said, because Mondo and the Hispanic guys, they out there saying it ain't no blacks that in low riding. You can't beat us. So it was cool to go on Crenshaw, but we was needed all around the country. As lowriders started to grow, they started having car shows all over the country, but the brothers, we wasn't really going out of state. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I started. The homies, they would go to like Bakersfield and stuff, but they really wasn't trying to go to Texas. They wasn't going to Florida. You know
and stuff, yeah, because they was having stuff in Colorado, Texas. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So I started going to them shows.
Florida's really booming now.
All nationally. Man, they got car shows in Kansas and Kentucky and Tennessee and everywhere, homie. It's all Australia got car shows. Japan got car shows. Germany got car shows, man. You know, so so it was always my business to try to go back and dot all the I's and cross the T's in low riding. And that's what made me close my shop down because I knew I could do better. I need to help with the branding of low riding. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, I knew people couldn't afford Daytons and everybody kept getting carjacked, right? So my homeboy told me, he said, man, I asked him, what would it take for you to stop carjacking cats over these wheels? He said, man, if I can only get $500 for it, $9.99, it wouldn't even be worth it because the street value would be $500. So I told that cat. So years later, the homie came to me and he said, because we started fixing wheels, and the homie said, TJ, we got the nipples, the spokes, we got the lip. He said, man, if you get that hub, you can manufacture your own, you can start your own rim company. And I was like, oh, I could be the plug. You know what I'm saying? I could be the man behind the wheels, right? So I gave him the bread and we got a CNC machine and we started manufacturing the hubs. So I was the one who bootlegged the Dayton. So like you'll hear gangsters say, them Chinas, we don't put Chinas on our car. So I was the one who started that. So the problem was I named it Compton Wire Wheels, right? Thinking it's going to blow up and everybody going to be rolling with Compton Wire Wheels. But what they would do is they would take the stickers off and they would go buy Dayton stickers. So for the first 2 years, nobody knew what Compton Wire Wheel was.
They wanted them Dayton. They want their stuff to say Dayton's.
Yeah, so that move right there, but what it was the homie turned around and he asked me, man, you going to sell them for like $2,000, $1,500 or something like that because the Daytons cost more, blah, blah, blah. I was like, nah, man, I want $9.99. Man, you crazy. You could get $1,500, at least $1,200. I'm like $9.99. So remember, before the Comptons came out, it was major carjacking like crazy. But once the Comptons came out, it flatlined. You don't see that no more. And then Trip, you got to remember back then, you had a lot of cats had laces. A lot of cats had A-wires. They had all these other wheels, but only a pocket full of cats had Daytons. You see what I'm saying? Now, everybody got the Compton Wire Wheel look, that Dayton look wheels.
Hey, I took my Dayton. I had real Daytons, right? I took my Dayton because I took it to a shop in Paramount to give it so they could reround and reshape it or whatever they was doing, right?
Right, make it re-true.
Yeah, so when I got the rim back, I had it sitting, and Twin walked up. He said, Mel, he said, what happened to your rim? I said, what do you mean? He said, who rim is that? I said, mine. He said, that ain't no Dayton. I said, no. And I looked. I said, oh, they don't switch my rim.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly what they be doing. People don't know. That's exactly what they do.
So I get Twin. We ride back up there, and dude gave me my rim, man. He had switched on me. He had put my tire, because I had Pirellis. He took my tire and put it on there and everything. I said, wow, this is crazy. Dude wanted my one rim. I just needed my rim because I was coming off of Centinela in Florence, and they got them big old things in the streets right there.
Right.
When you hit the road, blah, 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 I hit that thing, man, and
Let me close
that's
this
it,
drink
man.
real quick.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Hey, but you know, my thing was, homie, is the you know, with low riding, it helped create an independence for us as a people. You know, now for the first time, we got something else that we can sell other than something illegal. You know, low riding opened the door, so many doors for us. Now you got all the I was able to help convert all these car thieves and ex kingpins into car builders. You feel me? Because all the cats knew how to steal cars and know how to build them. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. So now
Right.
a lot of these cats got shops. You know, so now we over here
What
putting
happened,
our.
what happened to Big Willie or Willie's?
Oh, Nate, yeah, he ended up moving to out of state, Texas.
Okay.
They kind of knocked. They wouldn't let him do lowriders up at his new shop. When he moved from off of Florence, he moved down there in his dad's old spot, from Big House of Chrome to when his dad lost Big House, got rid of Big House of Chrome. Willie ended up down the street with Kaboom Auto, and then when he blew up and started getting his paper right, he went back and got his dad's old spot at the house, Big House of Chrome, and he called it Willie's Motoring. So now, so the owner of Willie's Motoring told him, you can't do that low riding stuff up here. So now he had to focus on wheels only. And then when Rental Wheel came out, that knocked him out the box. You know what I'm saying? That was his main income, was the wheels and the music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Because he had Duche working up there. Duche did my music and my convertible Cutlass.
Okay. Yeah, that was the homeboy right there. He was working with me on them wheels back in the days. I used to send him a lot of wheels, you know, when I started fixing wheels. But yeah.
How important was the Pomona swap meet, the Pomona swap meet, the Santa swap meet, and the Rhodium swap meet? Those three swap meets was important to lowrider.
Well, the Pomona was the biggest swap meet, period. You know, what it was is we would go out of town when lowriding started really getting popular and blowing up. We would go out of town to buy those cars, right? And we would go out there and buy them for like 500, 300.
Because the country dudes wasn't woke yet. They were asleep.
They were asleep. I would go out there, man, and they like, why is you buying these junk cars? You know what I'm saying? And it was like, I was doing them a favor by taking all this raggedy crap off their yard, you know?
Yeah. You put 3 or 4 of them on a car hauler, they looking at you like you crazy.
Yeah, them stupid Californians coming out, them stupid black Californians are stupid, you know, come out here buy that old raggedy 59 convertible, old bucket was all ripped up, possums in the trunk. You know, I sold them all 4 of them, you know what I'm saying? $1,500. Well, I laughed all the way to the bank. He just didn't know. Then a couple years later, I come out of town. Hey, man, you from Compton? I'm like, who? Where's that? What are you talking about? Do you know Eazy-E? Nope. Never heard of him. They said, yeah, I've been seeing those cars in the videos. I was like, oh, I don't watch that rap stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's a rapper, right? I don't watch that rap stuff. But then all of a sudden, about 3-4 years later, all these guys at Pomona swap me now. They got hip, homie. We out there in numbers because that became a multi-million-dollar industry, driving around America, pulling cars out of barns. You know what I'm saying? Pulling them out of backyards. I had homies would call me, say, I got a rag 59, I got 4 rag 60. When we was going out of town heavily, it was all about the trays and the foes back then. And they would call me, say, man, I got 4 rag foes on the back, TJ. I want 5 G's a piece. I'd be like, bring them over. Then he called me next month. I got 4 rag trays. I want 12 G's, bring them to me. You know what I'm saying? That next thing you know, it just kept growing and growing. Next thing you know, I would go to the Pomona and I'd be like, wait a minute, that's my white boy that's out of Ohio. You know what I'm saying? That's my white boy from Texas. All these cats in Pomona. I hated that, man. Like, oh, they in Pomona.
They'll start waking up now.
yeah. I want 12,000 for this one. I'm like, I ain't never gave you more than 4,000 for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Right. Oh man, I couldn't stand that, man. And then it just got worse and worse. The car's getting rougher and rougher. I'm like, damn, it ain't got no floors. It got the dashboard rusted and all the hood wrecked, the car wrecked, and this one was buried under dirt, it's toe up, and it's crushed. And I was like, it's all
And
BS
some
now.
of them cars been ran through that rock salt, that snow, back there.
Yeah. This car from Wisconsin just buried in rust, and he talking about I want 4,500? No, 45,000. I'm like, damn. I'm like, ooh, man, give me 75 for this Rag 57. It's all original. I'm like, damn, I ain't even got a front end on it. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, I watched my homeboys make a lot of money who I was sent out of town. That's when I started buying my own tow trucks and car carriers and all that. And I was sending the homies out of town, man. And before I know it, they quit and start doing it themselves. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be the man, I would go out of town and buy whole junkyards of raggedy 57s and 59s and all of that. So I teamed up. I don't know if you remember the homie B-Max. Rest in peace.
Yeah, B-Max. He used to come over to the house when we was over there on Tucker.
So I would team up with they would call me from out of state, be like,
Then Vernon Maxwell.
Vernon Maxwell. Rest in peace. That was my boy right there. That was my guy, man.
I played football with him.
Hey, we would go half. When I need hey man, I got a junkyard full of rags and it's gonna be about 400,000. I say, okay, let me call Max. You know what I'm saying? let me call Max. Max be like, I want all the 57s and the 59 rags. I'm like, yeah, man. I'm gonna send you the 300,000, but I'll be like, man, this ain't right, man. That was my guy. Hey, but we was buying them cars, homie. That's when I moved out to Palmdale and I turned around and bought me a gang of land. So I had a ranch house. I had my house set on 2.5 acres, my shop set on 1 acre, you know what I'm saying? And I was just buying cars in bulk by the truckloads, And now, man, it just was out of control now, you know what I'm saying? It's way out of control. But the painters, the cats that really know how to paint, man, I'm telling you, they getting paid, dude. My boy told me they get like 100,000. You want to do this?
They taking 2 or 3 years to paint the car.
That's why though? Because it ain't but a couple of people that really know how to build a car. It ain't but so many people that really know the game. Like I could come look at a car and tell you this car ain't right. No, they be like, "What? He want 200,000?" I'd be like, "Tell him you give him 90 right now, and here's why. Here's why." You know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, but everybody don't know that. There's so many cats that buy cars, homie, for a gang of money. And then they get it back home and they run across a person like me, and I'd be like, nah, it's gonna cost you another 100 to redo it.
If I go buy one, I'm coming to get you to look at it first.
Right. I get paid for that kind of stuff, man. I'd be like, hey, that's take it to the shop and put it in the air. I want to see it up in the air, I'll be sitting there looking at it. But yeah, let me know, homie, because they got too many people that's getting played out here, There's too many people getting played. I remember when Jay-Z bought a lowrider from one of the homies for a gang of money, and they got it home. And I was like, why would you sell him that car, homie? You know what I'm saying? It was like the Flintstones under the bottom, clean on the sides, toe up on the bottom, and I'm just like, but that's because that is the normal thing to happen. But and my point is, it's only so many of us that know how to really build a car. A master car, that's a master car builder that we can look at it, and I can tell you that quarter panel on the left is a little too far lower on it. Look how the doors line up. They look right, but they ain't lined up. And then the one on the right is too high.
And you know it because you'll see them go when they close that passenger door. They got to lift up on the door a little bit.
I mean, yeah, but it'd be like I could tell, man, when I could just look at it from the front to the back, and I'd be like, the molding ain't straight. It's off just a pinch. It'd be off just a pinch. And then that make me look at the bottom of the door. I'd be like, ooh, we got a gap. Now I'm looking at the fender and I'm like, ooh, it's scraping right there. This quarter panel ain't right. You know what I'm saying? The doors ain't right. Or the frame, the new floors ain't right. You see what I'm saying? They didn't straighten. They put it on the rack and put floors in it when they're supposed to have it even. They were supposed to weld the reinforcements in it. But it's a lot of dynamics to it, which is why these cats is getting so much money. And I gave a lecture at Compton College one day. They invited me to come up there and speak at the welding class, right? And I was talking about all of that, and I started talking about manufacturing. And the next thing you know, I was in there dropping so much new language and talking about the economic effects of lowriders. I'm like, look, because I put a presentation together called The Social and Economic Effects of Lowriding. And I went in there and I was talking about powder coating, sandblasting, auto body, and I was talking about fabricating pieces you can't find. Man, I'm at the SEMA show in Vegas one year, and I seen the cat he had on Compton School District. He like, I know you. He said, I got a job because of you. I said, what you mean? He said, I work at the Compton School District. You ever been up there? I said, yeah, I gave a lecture. He said, I got a job because of you. I said, what you mean? He said, you gave a lecture and they came back and added a sandblasting class, a powder coating class, a fabrication class, and painting class, auto body class. I was like, whoa. They said, can you come speak? So I go up there to speak. Guess who in the class?
Who?
Elbow in the class.
Elbow, yeah.
All the homies is in the class. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it was nothing but old men that got all of them had all their cars in the back. Like, we can't afford to pay for the paint, so we're gonna take this class and paint our own cars. And I'm happy though, man. I'm like, well, we need these little kids to take these classes. You know what I'm saying? We need these kids to take these classes. Hey, I took a picture of
what is it about trade that they seem to run from? Because we need to bring back the trades because AI can't do trade.
The trades is they don't want us to have a pathway. They don't want us learning anything that's a pathway to entrepreneurship. You feel me? Because entrepreneurship is a pathway to manufacturing. Once you become an entrepreneur, it's like you can become a billionaire, no problem. Just like all the lowrider guys was touching the high 6 and 7 figures with no problem, you know? And that's people who don't even know what they're doing. They still can touch 700, 800,000, you know? Don't really know what they're doing and getting money, you know? So they don't want us to have that. So when you look at a cat like me, I got one shop in Gardena, and then boom, I opened the second shop, and I had a whole portfolio. I'm gonna open another one in Bakersfield. I'm gonna open another one in Vegas, and I was about to just lay them out, right? And they looking at that. So normally when they see something like that, they find out who sells him all the parts that he's selling, right? So then they start calling the people saying, oh, stop selling him those wheels. Stop selling him those such and such, right? Well, I got smart and I started manufacturing all my own stuff. So I couldn't be cut off. So I said, I'm going to be the plug and I'm going to sell to everybody. But they didn't want people to grow up to be like me, to where all you hear me talking about is patents, trademarks, and copyrights. Because if I would have known what a patent was, homie, I could have patented chrome suspensions, so nobody would have been able to chrome plate a suspension and sell it. But me, you feel me? Just like you got the sisters with the red bottom shoes, you know what I'm talking about? Hey, nobody else can put red bottom shoes without going through them. So now imagine me patenting chrome suspensions, gold suspensions, chrome nuts and bolts, gold nuts and bolts. Everybody with a lowrider in the world would have had to go through me to get that, making me a multi-billionaire. So that's why they don't want people knowing about the trades. They put our kids in classes that can only get them a job. So colleges to me is like employee training camps, because you can't graduate from college and have these classes and go start a business doing what? You know what I'm saying? You can't. It ain't too many classes that you can start a business unless you're going to be an attorney or a doctor.
Right. Right.
Other than that, you talking about, oh, I'm a doctor of English. What you going to do with that? You know what I'm saying? No offense to the college people, but I'm just saying, we want our kids to do something to where they can come home and be highly sought after. Like if you go get a trade, they're going to be highly sought after because they're going to say, we need you in Edenton. We need your expertise out here in Altadena, all these burnt down houses that black people need to be rebuilt. We need you to come. They scared. If they put our kids in the trades, man, do you know they'll be hiring straight out of that school and bringing them to Palisades and said, we rebuild this $200 million house and we want to give you the contract to build it. You know what I'm saying? We want you to come and rebuild this house. It was 80,000 square feet and it's worth 250 million. So we're going to rebuild it and we're going to give you the contract because we know you know how to do it because you got electrician, you got plumbing, you got mason, all that. Do you know I just went to a conference, man, called the Skills USA Conference. That's called the best kept secret in America. Nothing but trades. I'm in Ontario, California. It's people in California high schools that put their kids in this Skills USA competition. The high schools have competitions every year. So annually, they put them in the conference in Ontario to decide who's the best in that conference. Who's the best motorcycle repair? Who's the best boat repair? Who's the best engine rebuilder? Who's the best mason that can stack brick walls? Who's the best framer that can put a roof up? So forth and so on. Who's the best guy that can work on a private jet? And then they send them off to, guess where? Atlanta, Georgia. Now you got 160,000 white folks and whites and Asians sitting out there, and all of them got a class, had them classes. I guess we dropped my brother for a second there.
I'm back.
Okay, cool. Hey, so
No, I get it. I definitely get it. That's you're right, because I passed by the Carpenters Union right here off the 215, right between the 215 and 60 split is the actual school for carpenters.
Yeah. That's what, on the real though, if we as a people want to be successful, we need to start skip to college and put all these kids in the trades. And if they learn how to do anything, HVAC, plumbing, electricity, anything, in 4 years' time, homie, they're gonna be worth $1 million. Very easy. Seeing that they up in Palisades rebuilding houses. They talking about they burned down over 13,000 houses, man. And the minimum house is worth $1 million plus. Nothing is going to be rebuilt for less than $1 million up on that hill, homie.
Yeah,
so it's like
you're right.
The average house up there is going to be worth 5 and 10 million. You know what I'm saying? Now you in Palisades, you talking about 100 million, 200 million. You talking about now they talking about they want smart cities. People gonna say, I want my flying car to land in my backyard and go underground, blah, blah, blah. You see what I'm saying? Because you know we got the Olympics coming in 28. So by 26, we got flying taxi cabs coming.
Man, you know, it goes back today. Where I read the Trump administration have extended executive power, extending great power for police departments. So with that being said, that means the police departments is going to be out there violating people's civil rights. You guys that's out in the streets, because the street don't have no king. The streets is undefeated, right? Anybody that's in the streets at this point in time, and you got this guy writing all these executive orders and extending extensive power, giving the police a lot of latitude to do what they want to do. You out in the streets, man, you're gonna want to find yourself probably in El Salvador at the end of the day, trying to figure out how to get back.
Right. So the people who put it like this, when Trump turned around and started passing them, kicking all the Hispanics out of here and all the foreigners out of here, that opened the door. We already had a deficit for tradesmen, right? And the Hispanics was all the tradesmen, right? So now it's leaving nothing but the college students. You feel me? It's leaving nothing but the black people. So if we just pivot and turn around and go left into the trades, oh, by the way, yeah, they're gonna have all that power, but Trump is about to close these prisons down. I don't know if you're seeing that, paying attention to that.
Trump also said, if you can't read and write English in truck driving, you need to find you somewhere else to go or something else to do, because I want English-speaking people driving trucks. I'm not changing signs. I'm not changing signs to say both English and Spanish. He signed that executive order as well.
Are you long distance or are you short?
I'm short.
So are you operating? What's happening with the Long Beach shipyard?
So far, I really don't know. I see them still moving. You know, I don't see anything different. Well, at least because where I'm at, we deal with Matson, and Matson is basically we just supply Hawaii, because Hawaii don't have no nothing that support that island. We have to, send them everything because they don't have no infrastructure that support the island. So everything run out of Matson basically is the United States sending goods to Hawaii. But I still see a lot of cans coming in. I work for Lowe's, by the way.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so what they doing is America lost the port, right? They lost that port. So the homie said, "Oh, they bought it from us." No, we lost it. You know what I'm saying? But China owns that port. So Trump is trying to dismantle the port, right?
Uh-huh.
But so you look at we got rid of Nissan, Toyota, and Honda. So all of them cars ain't coming in through Long Beach no more. They making them go down through the Panama Canal and come up, and they coming in Brunswick, Georgia. So if you look up Brunswick, Georgia, they got a small port there, and now they expanding that port. They're expanding so whatever it's called, Sylvania or whatever that other port is called. They expanding all because now they want them stuff to come in through the south, down south. You feel me? So they trying to devalue that Long Beach port so that they can turn around and get it back. But either way it go, they not gonna now that he put sanctions on all these people and sanctions on China and tariffs on all the rest of these countries. A lot of the countries that manufacture your Louis Vuitton and your Mercedes and your Volvos, they all building gigafactories out here in America. So now they're replacing, they're saying they're not going to need the long distance truck drivers that's going to tow a truckload from the Long Beach port all the way to Texas. They're not needing those guys no more. Once they get this thing together, because they build gigafactories all over America and they build them in black neighborhoods.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how all this plays out. That's for sure.
Well, that's why we're here having these conversations so we can put the people in the right direction. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
People pull out your Google and let's research some of these things I'm talking about because people, you got two sets of things. You got the this is what Trump say and this is what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people go off of what happened in the news and the news said this and the news said that. Well, homie, I'm in business. And by me having relationships with the Japanese and the Asians, the Germans, the Australians, the New Zealanders, you know what I'm saying? They all telling me what's really going on because they the ones shipping stuff over here. You see what I'm saying? We trying to ship lowriders over there. So I'm hearing about how all this stuff is working and what they really doing. But the pivot that we need to do is we need to put all our people in the trades and have them to start rebuilding and start building these smart cities.
Yeah, if we can only get them to pay, because again, I said, and nowadays people don't defend what is right; they defend who they like and what's trending. And we got to get our people to not focus on all this degradation, misandry, and also idle gossip that's occurring on the internet. That people seem to be an overindulgence in it, and at the same time, it's tearing down the black culture in a way that's it's just unprecedented, because it's like we back into the crack era again, but except it's the internet. It's the same type of irradical behavior, people doing things to one another that they shouldn't be doing, and then you got people that purposely come on the internet to tear down black people. That has to stop. It has to stop. Find something else to do with your time.
I look at it like this, homie. Everybody used to listen to the pastor at church, right?
Uh-huh.
Society had the powers that be said, we want you guys to only listen to the bishop, the pastor, the police officer, and the people named doctor or professor. If it ain't, some of them don't listen to nobody else. They don't know what they talking about, right? So now they done bought all these cats off, and now they come in there pumping all this disinformation into the community, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't hear the pastor talk about gentrification. You don't hear the pastor talk about we got to put some of these kids in the trades because they've been paid off to not have to do that. So now,
right.
People that got on to with the passion
they
running
the money, man. They love the money.
Yeah, so they get paid off. So now they looking like now people ain't going to church no more. Church is closing down like crazy, and they ain't going to colleges as much. So now people becoming conscious. And people listening to people like me, they call us the wealth guys. They teaching wealth, generational wealth stuff. So now all of a sudden, I break out and I was the first person that traveled the country with a tour talking about gentrification in real estate. We got to buy real estate, right? We don't need no stock market. Stocks ain't helping us. I said, The stock market, you putting your money in Google and Apple and all of them, but Google and Apple was the ones gentrifying the black community. So why would you give it to them? We need to invest in the real estate, right? So now they're cloning people. Here they come start cloning me and come up with some other cat, and he out there talking about real estate a bad investment. You know what I'm saying? They putting all these other speakers out and trying to block people like me from getting to speaking engagement because they know, oh, this guy is dropping good information and he's telling us not to invest in the stock market, and here's why. Not to go lease a car, and here's why. So now they turn around and step on my social media and make sure my numbers stay low. But here come the clone guy with the same information. He over here with 1 million plus followers. You feel me? Now
Right.
everybody looking at him like he must be smart because he got 800,000 followers. He must be smart because he got 28,000 YouTube followers or something, you know?
Now, that don't make it smart.
Not at all. That don't make him smart at all because people with the real information, they ain't got social media for the most part, you know? But we got to start learning how to, as a people, got to learn how to listen to us. But even more so, man, I'm just sitting.
You know, the man said that's why the man said he loved the poorly educated, because you got people just like I came on here, book for the day, community yourself, Naeem Akbar. You know, I don't know how many people is going to actually go listen to me. I'm gonna give a book up every day. Every time I come on here live, I'm gonna say the book of the day. I'm gonna give you the book of the day, and hopefully people will go pick it up.
Right
Spot Naeem Akbar.
Yeah.
There you go.
Book of the day right there.
That's your book.
That's me right there. That's my book. That's my second book.
And what's the name of the book?
It's called Monetizing Gentrification and Building Black Ownership. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can go to my website at gentrification.com and get you a copy of it. I'll send you a signed copy. You know what I'm saying? And
then y'all go down there and tap in with that, man.
Hold on. So let's make this the book of the day. Hey, this book was so cold. This is the second one, right? I updated it. The first book was so cold.
There you go.
Yeah. You can go to the website, gentrification.com, and pick you up a copy of those books. Get you like 10 copies because give them to somebody else that need them. Give it to these young people. These young people need these books, this information, right? And if you believe in it, then they're gonna believe in it because these kids are listening to somebody, and
they do.
Yeah, they listen. They looking
I
for.
I just hope it's not whack 100.
See there, people who get paid to go in there and disinformation to people, you know, go in there and keep drama going. It's like, come on, man, we got homelessness at an all-time high. We got unemployment at an all-time high, and that's what you guys want to talk about? Like, really? That the people need something. How can I eat? How can I keep the lights on in my house? How can I feed my family? You know what I'm saying? Every day they turn around and coming up with a new reason to raise the price of water. You know what I'm saying? The water on your house bill, your electricity bill. You know, it's like people need to be told, how can we get around that? What can I do with my son? Do I put him and her back in college again, or where else could I put him at? That's what we need to be talking about because people is tripping off of that. They got people. Like I'm looking at, they got people that's getting paid to go in there and get the information in our community. And you know who really tripped me out? You know the white boy Grant Cardone, the billionaire?
Well, those people are called economical hitmen.
Yeah, there you go. Hitman to come in and destroy. We're gonna go hire us some house Negroes and we're gonna give them a bunch of money and have them come in there and teach disinformation. So all of a sudden I'm out here pushing real estate. While everybody else is stock market, stocks. I'm like real estate. Now all of a sudden they come on talk about earn your leisures and all these different cats talking about real estate is a bad investment. I'm like, how is real estate a bad investment when houses then went up 1,000%? Houses in Compton used to be 100,000, 150,000. Now they like dang near knocking on $1 million. If you got something that's new, they want 1.2 million, you know? And people and rent is at an all-time high. So how is real estate a bad investment? You know, they trying to make us believe all this bad stuff, but the reality is they getting paid to tell us, don't buy a house, buy some stock and rent a house. That's a better investment. Just buy the stock. That's how you make money.
Hey, listen, TJ, I got to get up out of here, man. For those who are willing to purchase your book or find you, give them the website where they can come find you and where they can purchase your book.
You go to my website at gentrification.com. Gentrification.com. It's called Motor Suspension. I'm sorry. It's called Monetizing Gentrification, Building Black Ownership. I'll send you a signed copy. And also, if you want to take some online courses, they can go to the same website. I got real estate classes and I got lowrider classes on there. So you can go to gentrification.com or tjloftin.com and follow me on all my social media at Thomas TJ Loftin. My YouTube, go on there, click follow, subscribe, and like all my social media. I appreciate you, brother. I like to send that shout out to Big B for making this possible. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Shout out to B, my boy Mob B, man. Out to Mob, man. That's my guy.
Exactly. Shout out to the Postman, y'all. Click like and follow that brother, man. He's doing great work out here in the communities.
Man, I appreciate you. We're gonna talk soon, man. We gotta get into this, like, you know, more often. Because
you need to call, want the real information, brother, call me and we can talk about it.
Okay, good. Got it. I appreciate you, man. Enjoy the rest of your evening, man.
Likewise.
We'll talk soon. Peace. Very interesting conversation. Definitely necessary. Because, like, again, there's a lot of nowadays people don't believe. They defend what is right and who they believe like, and they follow what they follow trends. They just don't do anything else. It's just astounding to me how that happens, you know. But anyway, we're here for it. We're here to change the narrative and also bring the facts and bring people that's going to give you something substance, give you some tangibles, give you some things that you really, again, go to blackdemographic.com. So real facts about Black people. Don't listen to all these people that's passing around this disinformation and the information board themselves, and they just talking out the side of their head. Everything they thinking is going on inside their head and probably don't exist nowhere else, you know. But with that being said, I am Professor Melly Mill, your hood postman. And shout out to Marlena Williams, shout out to Cynthia Nunn. Let me see who else is in the chat. I didn't get a chance to shout everybody out. So Joe Farrow, John Brown, shout out to all you guys. Let's see. What about Keith? Keith was in there. RDL was in there. I saw him earlier. Dominique. Man, everybody, man, you guys are incredible for even coming and keep listening and following and getting this information. I think it's important, man. We may not have the significant numbers as a lot of the channels that's gossiping and passing around misogyny and degradation and just undermining the good value of Black people, man. But we are more than just that. Know that, man. We coming, man. We coming. Africa is beginning to wake up. Ibrahim Touré and the guy Malima, you know, we got to follow. They waking up over there. So, you know, we got to wake up over here. So with that being said, I am Professor Mel, the hood postman. Don't mind me just watching, but go ahead and lock that door.
Cali finest, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money. Got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga, streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the fans get me. It's guap off top, diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing, they see me shining. That's hard work, proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. Ali, bad man, and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me, that's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga, play later. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking, and I don't talk about it, I just make it happen. Word on the block is that my shit go. Reach for the low.
Lock the door.